G'day there guys, wish we got those killer clowns from 2016 and not this mess of a year. It's your boy Markee and welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. If you enjoyed today's content, tell me what you think about it down below and smack that like button and have a good day. Thank you. Posted by user Denzin Washer. Titled, Am I the a-hole for indirectly calling my wife a lunatic after she kept trying to get me to consent to naming our daughter George? It's definitely the weirdest situation that's come up during our relationship. I would not consider her weird or atypical by any means. We both are very normal and average. So at first I didn't believe her and thought she was joking when she said she liked the name George for our daughter. This came after we'd been discussing traditional girls' names for our daughter, so it wasn't even like she'd been considering anything gender neutral previously. There was no reason in particular for wanting to use George, other than she liked it because it would be unique and she thought it would be cute. I disagree on both fronts, but more importantly, I was against it because it's going to lead to a lifetime of bullying. I can see our daughter hating us when she's older for forcing her to deal with a name that made her a target for bullies, and she would be within her rights if she did. I told my wife my objections, but she insisted that we name our daughter George and kept aggressively trying to change my mind. That is when I said that only a lunatic would think naming a girl George is a good idea. I've tried to backtrack some by pointing out that I've never directly called her a lunatic, but only said that someone who thinks it's a good idea is one. But that hasn't made any difference. The thing is, I still do believe that it's a crazy thing to do and borderline parental negligence. I don't think a rational person would do it, knowing the child will be the one to take the brunt of the pushback. Maybe I shouldn't have said it, but sometimes the truth hurts, and we need to be called out when we're so far out of line, which is what I thought I was doing here after she refused to listen to my concerns. Things aren't great right now, but I'm still not sure if I did anything wrong here, so I want to know if I am the a-hole. Edits, a lot of people are asking me why not use Georgia or Georgiana. I have already mentioned using a female take on George, and she has said no. I think it's an everyone sucks here situation, but I'm personally more inclined to be on your side for this one. I do think that your wife is opening up George, potentially, to be bullied at school, and I don't think that's the right thing to do. I get that it's a quirky name, but I would rather have been accepted in my earlier years of school than be bullied for a name that I can't particularly control as a child, and not really know for a while why they're bullying me. And also I kind of felt like calling your wife a lunatic would be a bit of a normal thing. It's like, oh come on love, you're being a bit of a loon today, aren't you? That doesn't feel too particularly harsh. It's not like you're actually bullying her for saying that. I feel like that's normal argument, fodder, just one of those words you throw around. I don't feel like it's particularly vindictive. So if this is an everyone sucks here judgment, I'd say you're justified in what you're saying. So it's either everyone sucks here or not the a-hole. I can't really decide. Everyone sucks here. She should be considering your opinion rather than just settling on one name and insisting that that has to be it. But you did in fact directly call her a lunatic. She said, I like this name for a girl, and you said, anyone who likes that name for a girl is a lunatic. You can do whatever mental gymnastics you feel like to pretend that's not what you did, but it still is. And you basically accused her of being an unfit mother on top of it. And if you want her to take responsibility for what she did wrong, it would probably help if you would take responsibility for your own actions as well. Hopping on top comment to say, a child's name should be agreed upon by both parents. If one of you don't like a name, it's out, and you find another that is unanimously liked. I agree, except in this situation. Any rational person can agree that George is 100% a male name, and that the wife is out of her mind if she thinks naming a girl George is going to end well. Like, I could understand if they would compromise on something like Georgina or Georgia, but no girl should have to be named George. I wonder if OP's wife was a fan of Nancy Drew growing up, because that was the first thing I thought of. Granted, George from Nancy Drew's full name was Georgia. Not the a-hole. Some people are completely unreasonable when it comes to kids' names. She wants to name her daughter a traditionally male name. That's going to lead to frustration and problems. You are right to stop this, and you're 100% correct that it can lead to frustration in school and beyond. I don't think she's giving enough consideration to it being our daughter that has to live with a name for at least 18 years. Posted by user Jonesy67, titled, "Am I the a-hole for burying my wife alive with pillows?" So my wife bought these decorative pillows for our bed when we first got it. They do look great, I have to admit, and we both love them during the day. But at night, my gosh, this woman slings them over to the side of my bed like a soldier chucking grenades from the trenches. She will literally throw all of them on my side of the bed and go to sleep like nothing is wrong. She does this every night, which has caused us to be in a pillow war. Every night we find new weird ways to pee each other off with how we can arrange the pillows only on the other person's side. Today I had the brilliant idea of letting her beat me to the bed today, so she stacks them all on my side. When she fell asleep, I built basically a pillow fort all around her with pillows from every room in our house. It was very unstable and fell as soon as she moved even an inch, which was hilarious because she got hit with about 5 different pillows at once and she freaked out thinking someone was attacking her or something. Now she's mad at me. Am I the a-hole, or is all fair in love and pillow war? Edit. Oh my gosh, this blew up. First off, thank you all so much for the awards and love. To answer a few questions, we do not genuinely get upset at each other. It's all out of love. We are newlyweds who have only been married for a few months. We only do this because we know it's a competition to see who can have the best arrangement. To everyone telling us to just get a chair or a chest to put them in, we have the capability to put them somewhere else. This is just kind of our thing at this point. I'm gonna go with not the a-hole. I think, everyone was asking for something like this to happen at some point and, she just woke up as if she's gonna know what's going on there. But surely she can just put 2 and 2 together and realize it was pillows. She can be upset if she wants. That's normal in a marriage, and that's normal when you're messing around. I feel like he didn't take it too far. It's just another one of those things. Just pretty easy, not the a-hole here. Play pillow games, win pillow prizes. Time to start putting pillows in her car, in the shower, in the dishwasher. Fill a cupboard with pillows and then ask her to grab you a glass. Get a pillow with your face on it and put it in the fridge. All pillows, all the time. No a-holes here. No a-holes here. If this is you guys' biggest problem, y'all are good. And it was pretty funny. Either buy more pillows and build an even larger fort next time, or get a chest for pillow storage. Maybe a chair, or like a footstool or bench on the end of the bed. Everyone sucks here. You both suck, and will probably be married forever because this actually sounds hilarious and a little bit of fun. Like, you're the married equivalent of Troy and Abed. There's a movie with a couple with 30 pillows on the bed. I can't remember what it is. I can picture them taking the pillows off the bed. I think it's Meg Ryan, anyone? Edit, it's Jennifer Aniston, Along Came Polly. A movie I have no recollection of ever actually watching. Posted by someone that deleted their account. Titled, "Would I be the a-hole for dividing money meant for just my son between all 3 of my adopted and stepkids?" A few years ago, I got pregnant and married the father, who was such an awful husband and father that when we split up, I not only got custody of our shared biological children, but I also got custody of his 2 biological kids, who have no relation to me. They have different birth mothers, who were never involved with the kids, and have allowed me to take sole guardianship. Guardianship of the kids was first offered to the bio mother and the father's extended families, and everyone refused. I'm saying all of this to establish that I am the only family these kids have, and their bio families will never be involved. I love all 3 of my kids, and they see themselves as regular siblings and see me as their mother, despite knowing the truth. I've known the older kids since they were 6 and 18 months old, and my kids are now 4, 6, and 7. My grandparents, the kids' great-grandparents, are aware of all of this, and always seem to love all 3 of my kids and treated them equally. However, I went to see them recently, and they gave me a check for 40 grand. They explained that they've sold their house, downsized, and made a massive profit. And my dad recently came to them asking for some money while my brother is getting married next year, and they know that with the current situation I've been having some money problems, so they're essentially giving out inheritance early. They said my brother got 20 grand, so 20 grand of it is for me, and the other 20 grand is for my 4-year-old. They want me to put it into an account with interest and let it sit until he's old enough. They left the details to me. I asked about the other kids, and they responded that all 3 kids would get the same amount in the will when my grandparents actually pass away, but this was a bonus for my 4-year-old because my older 2 have their real families to help them out. I reminded them that the older 2 don't have any other family, and they said they weren't going to justify themselves, so either take the check or don't, but don't argue. I took the check and left. This feels incredibly unfair to the older kids, and I can only see it causing issues as they get older. I can't give them 20 grand each to make up the difference, as I just don't have that in savings, even when taking into account the money my grandparents gave me. I feel that the fairest thing to do would be to split the money between all 3 kids and give them an account and fund each, and just not tell my grandparents about it. However, my brother called me to ask what I'm going to do, and when I told him what I was thinking, he said that would go directly against our grandparents' wishes and be incredibly unfair to my youngest, and that not telling them would make it look worse when the truth inevitably comes out. Would I be the a-hole? Info. Forgot to mention that we are in England, so medical bills and college funds aren't such a huge concern. Man, this feels above my pay grade personally because I don't know the kids, and we don't know what the kids are going to be like when they're older, and, money is always a huge concern in families. I think you would be the a-hole if you went directly against the grandparents' wishes. I feel like you know that you would be the a-hole for doing that. And life isn't fair. You've either got to do one thing or another, and you're going to suck in someone's eyes because, there really is no winning in this one. So I'm going to say you're the a-hole if you do it, and best of luck. Update, I'm giving the money back. I can't win here. If I split the money, that's unfair to the 4-year-olds. If I don't split it, it's unfair to the other 2. Best way to avoid later issues is just remove the money from the equation. You're the a-hole. This gift is conditional, and it would be dishonest to take it and spend it the way you choose without telling them. What you can do if you're uncomfortable is refuse to accept it altogether. If it is conditional, then it isn't a gift. If they wanted it to all go to the one child, then they could have set up a trust instead. If it's conditional, then it isn't a gift. That's nonsensical. If I give you something and ask you to pass it on to your mother, it's a gift for your mother. If they want it all to go to one child, then they could have set up a trust instead. I agree that that's what they should do if they want one child to get $20,000, but it sounds like they simply assumed OP would behave honestly. It is conditional if getting the entire $40K is on the premise of $20K has to go to the one child. Admittedly, the post is a bit ambiguous on that though, but I think that the grandparents suck for putting that expectation on the mother. My assumption is they don't want to set up the trust because it would blatantly show their intentions, and it's easier to ask the mum to do it to save their vanity. You would be the a-hole. I don't blame you for being upset that your parents are treating your bio kids differently from the 2 you adopted. That is wrong. However, you were given 2 choices. Take the check and give $20K to your bio kid only, or give back the check. You don't have the option of deciding you will split up the money the way you would prefer it to be split. You would be the a-hole. They are not great for excluding your other kids, but you are given the money to give to him. To do otherwise would be stealing from him. I get you want to treat them all equally, but this isn't the way. If you want to wash your hands of it, give back the $20K and tell them they can set up an account and trust as they seem fit. They can be the bad guy for favoritism. Posted by user Throwaway112896. Titled, Am I the a-hole for cooking Indian food as a non-Indian? I'm a 22-year-old white guy. Growing up, I had a best friend in school, Jay, who was from India. I frequently went over to his house, and his mum served us amazing North Indian food. Not just the stuff you find in restaurants, but authentic food she prepared from spices she got from India. Jay and I are still friends, but we live in different states now. Over time, I've picked up some Indian recipes like butter chicken, biryani, etc. I tend to cook by myself, and if I have time, I make Indian food. Recently, a guy moved in with me. He's from college and I know him well. His girlfriend also tends to hang out in our apartment. Yesterday, I was making biryani, this amazing dish with rice and spicy chicken, and the girlfriend asked me what I was making. I explained to her about biryani and how it's one of the very popular Indian dishes. She was apparently ticked off for some reason. She didn't say anything, but then later came up to me and told me that she wasn't comfortable that I was blatantly appropriating Indian culture. I told her that I have an Indian best friend and he actually approves of my cooking, but she wasn't convinced. She said that she trusts her beliefs and that she won't engage with me any further. So, this is ridiculous, but am I the a-hole? I want to prove a point. Also, she's white too. Not too much to say here, just seems like social justice warrior gone astray. You know, she's got a weird narrative going here and she wants to feel good about herself by saying, oh my god, you can't do XYZ because cultural appropriation, blah 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 blah. I'm cooking Indian food, love. There is nothing to be read into here. I'm enjoying Indian food. Go away. Not the a-hole. This is a classic case of not knowing that cultural appreciation exists. You aren't modifying another culture and devaluing it, you are integrating other cultures into your household and doing it respectfully. I'd calmly explain to her that her brand of activism is toxic. And no, I don't know how to phrase it nicely. F it. You can make biryani with ketchup if that's what floats your boat. My aunt, who's actually Indian, eats biryani with ketchup. The native culture is equally capable of committing abominations. Not the a-hole. I mean, non-Mexican people can make tacos and non-Italian people can make pasta. Right? What does this girl even eat? If I had to live solely on the cuisine of my country of origin, I'd be incredibly depressed. The cuisine of my country is hot dogs and war crimes. Yeehaw! Not the a-hole. How does she feel about making tacos, lasagna, shepherd's pie, schnitzels? Which culture is it okay to appropriate from, and which isn't? Sounds like she's one of those people who just needs to always be outraged about something. And like those people who think that culture equals skin tone, so she probably will not even see that Scottish is not Italian, is not German, is not Russian food. Not the a-hole. Cultural appropriation is a real issue, but stuff like this diminishes the argument for why it's problematic. In this case, cultural appropriation would be to make biryani, do a marketing collab with Goop, rename it OP's Mystical Yogi Vaginal Tightening Turmeric Rice, and sell it for $50 a plate to a bunch of bored rich white women, lol. Okay, and I think that's where we're going to end today's episode, guys. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even learned something from these stories. Just want to say a quick shout out to my Patreon subscribers and my channel members. You guys should be on the screen right now. If you do see yourself, I want you to give yourself a little pat on the back for being amazing and supporting me on this channel, this little journey we're going on the YouTubes. I really appreciate it, and you guys enable me to do all this amazing work. So if you do see yourself, I love your face and I'm happy to see you. Also guys, if you want to pitch in your own support, you don't have to, but channel links are down in the description below to support the Patreon, the channel membership, whatever you want to do. It's kind of like tipping me if you feel like I'm doing a good job on this channel. I will be opening up avenues for content on those in the future. Just right now I'm kind of bogged down and stuck in Ireland, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway guys, with that said, I do hope you have a wonderful day today. Whatever you're up to, I'd love to know down in the comments below. I do hope you have a good day, night, sleep. Whatever you're up to today, tell me, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Bye.